Hey everybody, how you doing? Good morning. It is, gosh, like 7:30 in the morning, and it is cold. It is 40 something degrees outside, y'all. It's cold, but I know y'all think, well, where's your sweater? It's here in my car, but I'm just kind of rushing this morning. But anyway, first off, before I begin talking about anything in this particular video, I just wanted to apologize for not getting back with you guys in regards to being consistent with the videos I did previously on how to start your own ride share or delivery delivery or courier business. I've just been busy, guys, and sometimes when you get busy, you have to just focus on what you're doing. And excuse me, I'm a single parent and stuff, and so like there's other things I got going on, and so I have to just kind of focus on taking care of myself, taking care of my child, and some other things. So things came up, and plus I was at the doctor's, I think it was last week, the week before. And so if you guys know about my shoulder issue, whatever, but I had to go because my mom was concerned about my blood pressure, and I never knew I had high blood pressure, but like I knew it was kind of like up and down a lot. But when I injured my shoulder, my mom was actually with me because she came to the hospital, and basically like it was high. It was like 170 something. And she thought it was, because of course, when you're in anxiety, or also when you're in pain, your blood pressure goes up, but it was way too high. And so I thought nothing of it, but I just noticed some things that was going on with my body and stuff. So anyway, basically she called me like out the blue, and she was like, have you had your blood pressure checked recently? I'm like, not really. I don't pay attention to it. So long story short, she suggested that I go to the doctor and get it checked. And I started to monitor it. And she was right, because I would check my blood pressure like in the mornings and stuff, and I would send her a screenshot of it, and she was like, that's way too high. And so basically the doctor put me on medication and stuff like that. And so that's kind of like what's been going on. Nothing bad or anything, but that's something you really got to take care of, especially if you're under stress. Take care of it. Anyway, guys, so God is good, so he provided. But I just wanted to kind of go off on the subject this morning regarding purpose. And so that's one of the reasons why I haven't really done that many videos lately, because I've been busy. I've been taking care of stuff, and so I just been kind of reflecting on this past year and even last year on some things. And so I just kind of wanted to just briefly talk about that, because I think that a lot of the times when we start working jobs or start doing things that's making money, or even we're in a place in life where we kind of like where we're really not happy, we just kind of settle or just take anything. Now there's nothing wrong with working a job that's paying your bills, and you're taking care of your kids, you're taking care of your your payments or whatever. But I just feel like in this season, for me, this is just me personally, that where the Lord is taking me, I have to make sure that I'm in position, not just in the natural but also spiritually. And so I just don't want to do things just because it's popular, or just because it gets a lot of likes or a lot of views or a lot of pats on my back. Like I just want to make sure that I am doing what God wants me to do. And so I look back at even the issue with Instacart and stuff, and how even before I had injured my shoulder and stuff, I really wasn't happy deep down, because I knew the company's practices. I knew what was going on. And even though the Lord had blessed me with that, sometimes seasons come to an end, this is the way it is. And so I think that I was always wondering, okay, would I have quit if I did injure my shoulder? And I thought about that a lot, and kind of like, I feel like, it was kind of like half and half. And I was getting to the point where I wasn't really in it like I was before. And now that I've been praying about it and spending more time with God, he's been showing some things I need to kind of focus on. And of course, distractions are going to happen. When you're on, it's like when you're on your way to doing what you're supposed to be doing in life, you're going to get distracted by stuff just starts coming up. You gotta all of a sudden pay an unexpected expense. Stuff happens to your health. Your kids act up. Stuff goes on with your car. I mean, you got issues with your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, whatever, and stuff just pops up. But I just kind of feel like it really, because we're narrowing down to the end of 2017, and we're really to the end of it. And I know we all typically make New Year's resolutions, but I have seen some people's posts on social media and how they're already beginning, how they're trying to plan. And I think that's very important to start planning, and not necessarily say it's a resolution but just start making goals, like start setting goals before this next year. And that's something that I'm going to do, because I realize that sometimes when we get good ideas, not God ideas, but good ideas, we just run off of whatever we feel, or whatever we think is going to do the best for us, but we start doing something else. And I know I have a habit of doing that sometimes. Actually, I do it a lot. Like I'll start something and I don't finish it. Like, I'll begin a project, but then I don't finish it. Or I'll work on a client's project or something and then I don't finish it. Sorry, that girl's just walking by. And so that's kind of like what I've been dealing with, like, over the years of my life, is that I'll start and don't finish. Kind of like college. Like, I went to college, but I have enough college credits to get a degree, but it was like I would start and then I would stop. I would start and then I would stop. And then when I got married, I was in school for a while and then I stopped, and then I had my son and I went back for a while and then I stopped. A few years later, I went back. It's like I would kind of go off and on. And, I know what I want to do, because, I'm at the age where I should already know what I want to do. I can't say what I want to be when I grow up, because I'm grown, but, just completing tasks and assignments. And I think that has been a challenge for me, is finishing stuff that I start. And, that's part of a distraction I think a lot of us have in life, is, starting stuff and don't finishing it, or coming up with a great idea and it doesn't come to fruition. And, people are always trying to get me aboard on these new wave products and try to, this MLM stuff. And I think it's interesting, and there's nothing wrong with it, but at least I know what's best for me. And, I can't knock what someone else is doing because it's working for them, but I know what works best for me. And so, sorry, the sunlight, you know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like really this is the time to really start gathering together what you really want to do and what you're planning on doing, what that's going to be successful, and just running with it and staying as focused as possible, because you're going to have all kind of arrows that are going to be thrown your way to try to get you off track, or to try to either tempt you, or try to get you to do something that you really aren't supposed to be doing, or to try to get you involved in something that is going to get you all tied up and too busy. And that's another distraction, is being too busy, And so, for the most part of my life, I've always done what works best for other people, and not really making myself happy too much, and doing what I want to do. And so in life, when you have responsibilities such as children, they come first. And unfortunately, they do come first and you come second, and there's nothing wrong with treating yourself and, doing good things for yourself. But, I just wanted to get back into things that I used to love to do. And I used to just hop into stuff and without even praying about it, and just assuming that it was from God because it came to my head because it was a good idea. And some ideas may not necessarily be part of your purpose or part of what you're really supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? And so this is the reason why some people have some great ideas, and it only goes but so far, and then it kind of crumbles because that wasn't part of God's plan for your life, and that really wasn't meant for you to do, and it doesn't make you a bad person. We all make choices that we think is right, but it may not necessarily be part of our purpose. Excuse me. And so, I take every situation in life, even if it appears to be bad or negative, and I try to look at it from a positive standpoint. And even if things may not have turned out the way that I want them to, I try to redirect myself into doing something that I know that it's going to please God. And not only that, but I know it's going to open up more doors for myself. And even by me doing this channel, it's opened up some doors and stuff like that, and it's generated income and stuff. But, I know that part of what I'm called to do is the media. I do not just these videos, but, film and stuff. And I just want to make sure that what I'm doing is going to be fruitful, because we can all do great things or do things that seem pleasing to other people, but is it bearing good fruit? And so I know that even the Bible talks about that, and how, if the tree doesn't bear good fruit, God's going to cut it down. And so I pray that a lot, that if what I'm doing in life doesn't please God, if I'm doing something that's not going to bear good fruit, take it away and replace it with what He wants me to do. And He's starting to show me some things. And I think that sometimes when we are afraid to do something different or do something that we really want to do, We're afraid of what people are going to think. We're afraid of what they're going to say, how they're going to respond. Are they going to respond this way? Are they going to like me? Are they going to receive it? Will they buy my products? Will they go to my website? We think about these things, and anything that you do regarding a business or a venture, have a plan. And that's something that, we should all be doing right now at this point, is having a plan for this next year. And, and just sticking with that plan and have like a list, and for me, the way I do things is I'll pray about it. And if it's not from God, then he'll take it away. Or, and how I know that is it'll crumble or something will happen. And I'm okay with that, But to close this video out, guys, I just wanted to say, make sure that you guys are planning for the next year, and you're doing something that that is in your gut that's going to be fruitful, that's going to not benefit just you and what you are called to do financially or whatever, but it's going to help somebody else. And sometimes we hop on these jobs and these apps and try to do stuff and we realize it's just not working. And it's okay if something doesn't work out, you guys. If you try to do a business or a venture or a ministry or something and it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out, and you really don't owe nobody any explanation. And I think that sometimes we feel like if we fail in an area or if things don't go the way that we expected them to, we got to explain to people why. You don't owe anybody any explanation. Some things just don't work out. And it's okay. You just move on and do something different, But I think that when we begin to really spend some time by ourselves and think, and for me, I pray about it, then we'll begin to realize, what, I have all these gifts, I have all these talents, I can do this, I can do that, and then we'll kind of maneuver ourselves to do what is right and what you're really called to do, because there's nothing worse than having so much on the inside of you and not being able to do it because you are afraid to go out and do it, or because you're trying to look at the latest fad and like the latest trend, and you're still not happy. Like that is a miserable thing, is to know you want to do something else, or know that you have the ability to do it and you just don't do it because you're doing something else and you're not happy. Like for me, I'm all about peace and happiness. And so even on social media, I don't feel bad about, like, if I started a group and the Lord tells me to close it, or he tells me to take it on pause or whatever, I'll do that, and I don't owe anybody any explanation. Why did you close the group? Why did you do this? Like, no, I mean, I know what God said. And so, sometimes, things work out for a season. And when that season is up, then it's up. And so don't try to explain yourself unless you really have to. Like, I'm not saying, like, if you have like a business of 20 people and you feel led to go be a missionary, don't just close a business without explaining to your employees why. Like, that's different, but you know what I'm saying. And so, sometimes we think that we're in a place where we're doing all right, but we realize that we're not fulfilling our purpose. And so what you're doing right now, for some of you guys, what you're doing right now is just for a season. And when that season's up, you'll find out that there's so much greater out there. And even though it may seem like our economy or what this world is doing, it may seem like it's not in the best position right now, but I'm a firm believer that when God gives you an idea, and when he gives something to you, then he's like obligated to make sure that it comes to fulfillment. And that's going to be up to you to make sure that you're in position, to make sure that you are in a place where you're supposed to be, and not trying to do this and just be all over the place, And so, like I didn't even give it a second thought. Like when I stopped doing some things, like, and hanging out with certain people, or stop trying to be everything to everybody, then I've become so much happier. And that's one thing that we have to learn as adults, is you can't be everything to everybody. I'm not talking about what Paul said in the Bible on be all things to all people. I'm not referring it to that way. But I'm saying that sometimes we try to spread ourselves so thin and try to do stuff for other people to the point where we're not happy, we're not satisfied, and we're missing out because we want to make sure that everybody else is okay instead of taking care of yourself, And I know some of you guys that are watching this video, it's like, I'm that person, I'm always the one that's taking care of people. I'm always the one that's always giving people a ride, and nobody ever give me gas money, and or maybe you're always the one that's always lending people money, or maybe you're always the one that's always there for people, but it seems like nobody's there for you. This next season coming up in 2018 and the years to come, make sure that you take care of you. Think about yourself. And I'm not talking about you guys that are already selfish, I'm talking about you guys that are always givers. There's nothing wrong with giving, but it has to come a time where you have to say, you know what, I need to take a break. I need to do me now. And I'm not saying neglect your duties as a parent or as a husband or a wife, or anything like that, or an entrepreneur or whatever. But I'm saying there comes a time in your life where you got to say, you know what, I got to do what's best for me now. And some of you guys have been doing this for years, the same thing over and over again, where you've always taken care of other people, or you've always did stuff to help somebody else out, and you find yourself always ended up running short. Enough of that. So now start planning, start writing it down, start writing out what you want to do, and how you're going to make those dreams come to life, and how you're going to make your life a whole lot better, how you're going to be at peace. And sometimes you got to be at peace even with your enemies, and even start working on your emotions. Even like with me, God is dealing with me about that. Sometimes you got to work on you. You have to work on you from the inside out, not just tangible things, not just being successful financially, but I think the best success comes with when you are able to have a good character. And somebody can always be successful, but their character sucks, So last thing I'm gonna say is start working on you first, and start planning ahead. Don't wait till the last minute to say, you know what, oh man, I should have did this, I should have did that. And don't let every cool idea that pops up come to you and you just run with it, because some ideas, it's just a distraction, and that's why you're going from thing to thing to thing, and you're like this and this, and you find yourself going in circles. It's because that's not part of your purpose. And so when you sit down, and for me, I pray, and when you really sit down, and for me, I spend time with the Lord, and you think about it, you're like, man, I wasted so many years, so many months, so many hours on just doing stuff instead of fulfilling my purpose. And before I go, some of you guys out there are supposed to be writing books, like myself. I'm an author, but I don't have that many books. Some of you guys are out there supposed to be writing books. Some of you guys are supposed to be out there starting a website. Like there's a website that you're supposed to be doing. I just keep seeing like journalism. Like some of you guys are supposed to be out there writing blogs. Like there's information that you have that you're supposed to give to somebody else, but you're not doing it, or you're afraid to do it, or you don't know how to do it. So start doing your research. Start writing. Even if you have to write like 3 pages a day. Start with doing something, and don't get so distracted to where you start losing focus of your goal and what you're supposed to do, because then you're going to end up unhappy. And then those that you're supposed to bless, they're going to miss out because you're not in position. And then you end up seeing somebody else doing what you're supposed to be doing. So anyway, I got to bounce, y'all. I'll be back later, and I will catch up with the other videos, I promise. God bless y'all.